Let's talk about some signs that you are at a bad Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy. The first sign I'm going to have to say is a little bit controversial among gym owners because there are certain arguments in its favor, but it's almost universally hated amongst people who go to gyms, and that is a contract. Now, for some reason, it's super common in the martial arts business that when you sign up for a contract. And among other justifications that I've heard for a contract, one is that in order to invest in the students have to invest in the teacher or show some sort of commitment, and a contract is like a written way to do this. In my opinion, that doesn't really hold up all that well. You can show commitment just by showing up to class, but it's also a free market, so if you go to a gym and they offer a contract and that's the only way they do it, vote with your wallet. Don't sign up for it. Now, there are arguments for offering discounts if you sign up for a contract, but the option of no contract, really a huge sign that you're at a bad Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, is that money is a huge factor. I have had Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools that I've heard of, like they charge members to test for stripes on their belt. So in a lot of academies, you get promoted, you get additional stripes, additional belts, based off a number of factors, but mostly your instructor's overall assessment of how long you've been doing it, how good you are, how much you know, how good of a character you have. All these factors go into, but usually it's a combination of all these things. And then they give you a stripe after a certain period of time and a belt after a certain period of time. But some academies, and this would be a huge red flag, will make you pay to get additional stripes. Overall, if it seems like you feel more like a dollar sign to the owner of the gym, they're always trying to sell you things rather than like a student or someone who's there to learn or have a good time, it kind of sours the relationship. Of course, the lights have to stay on, you have to pay your membership, it's nice to buy team gear, but when they start really making every single class about that extra push to sign up for this seminar or the private lessons or the extra this or the extra that, if they start nickel and diming you, it's really not the best environment, because there are other gyms that just make it straightforward, like here's the membership, here are the classes, show up and get better and train. And that's what the best environment in my opinion is. So another red flag at the gym is going to be social drama, which I don't even like talking about, but I have to because it's something that happens. If there are cliques, like serious like group cliques within the gym that exclude other people, or say, there's some gyms where it's fun to talk smack amongst teammates and certain people can interpret that as negative comments, but there are other environments where people are truly like negative and they don't want to help you learn and they're trying to keep secrets from you, and it's just gross. It's something that people should be able to move past, and truthfully it comes from the leadership. If the leadership isn't able to set a positive gym environment, then it all sort of trickles down. If they start playing favorites, if they start picking social games, the rest of the people start to pick up on it, and it's just unfortunate. So if your gym has negative social environment, meaning there are groups who try to push other people out, there are negative comments, you don't feel safe, it doesn't feel like anybody likes you or they're your friend, well, that's probably a sign you're at a bad Jiu-Jitsu academy. Another sign of being at a bad Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy is if the school's instruction does not match up with your goals. So this can mean a few different things. If you really want to do competitions, but there are a lot of more casual people at the gym, the instruction is focused more towards a self-defense, whatever you interpret of that. I have videos if you want to hear my opinions on self-defense jiu-jitsu versus competition jiu-jitsu. But if you want to learn a specific style, like maybe you want to learn rubber guard or leg locks or takedowns, and your gym isn't showing those things, or you don't have the opportunity to go out and learn, that's a sign you're at a bad Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy. If you are outgrowing the gym, maybe you've been there very consistently for a very long time, and it feels like you're not learning anything new, that's the sign you need more training partners. Sometimes it's a really small academy and the instructor is a little bit older and they're maybe not practicing actively competing, and if you're not able to get what you want out of the instruction, that's a sign you are at a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy that's not for you. You should go find a different gym. Now I want to talk about some of the things you can do to mitigate being at a bad gym and still get the most out of your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu journey. Sometimes it's not possible to move to another gym. Maybe that's the only gym within a reasonable driving distance. So you still want to keep training, but there are all these downsides. What are some things you can do? Well, if it's one of those places that nickel and dimes you, that is kind of your SOL. You're going to have to find a way to make more money or find a different gym because there's sort of no way around it. You're not going to negotiate, for the most part, like wiping the mats or something for a free membership unless, I mean, sometimes it happens, but usually if you're at a gym that nickel and dimes you, they're not the kind of gym that's going to want to offer you some sort of a deal or some way to work around it. Now, that's possible, but I'm going to say it's probably unlikely if you're in that situation. Other things you can do is find additional training partners outside of class time. Just because it says on the schedule there's only a few classes a week doesn't mean you can't also find your own mats and then ask people at the class, hey, you want to come get some extra training with me? Chances are there's going to be someone in your class who's going to want to get some extra training. And so if you have your own mat space, you know, if it's nice outside, you could go meet at a park. If you're able to go to someone's apartment or house and, you know, do some additional training there, get some positional sparring reps in, get some sparring, get some just drilling, watch some instructionals. Watching instructionals is one of the best things you can do to supplement your jiu-jitsu because you're not limited to what's available in front of you. You can go out and watch instructionals from some of the best people in the world. You can understand their concepts. You can drill it at your own home mats. You can go test it out in class, and then you can keep repeating the process. I'd say you can get really good at jiu-jitsu by learning based on your own direction. You can go out and find techniques that you want to get good at and practice them in positional sparring, practice them trying to get them in live rounds, practice them drilling. And if you do that again and again, and then also actively seek out information from other instructors at open mats, from people online. Online is going to be the biggest one. Watching instructional videos, just testing, asking just your teammates what they think of this or what they think of that, noticing yourself, taking your own notes. You can get a lot out of your own journey if you're willing to take the extra step and apply, seeking knowledge, applying knowledge, learning it. You can test for yourself and find what makes the moves work without relying on your instructor or your academy to do that for you. So that's one of the biggest things you can do, is go out and learn for yourself anyways. Another thing you can do is cross-training in a different but similar martial art. I know for a while I did judo while I was also doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. One, it was nice because I had different training partners who didn't see what I was working on in one class, so I could practice the judo moves here and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu moves here. And I'd also just have additional mat time to just work on some stuff, you know, because sometimes people in the judo, and it was a club, so it also saved me money. So when I was at the judo club, I was able to just go out and practice for free, essentially, when I had to pay to go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that was just a little bit more training for free. You can make your own club. That's something that's free to do. You can make it unofficial, just with like some people you get together and train with every now and then. But supplementing your own training is one of the best things you can do, no matter what, to mitigate the negative sides of having a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy that's not the best for you. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be in the same place forever, and you may end up switching gyms if you move. But do the best with what you can right now, and honestly, that is the most important thing. If it's a negative environment where you don't have a lot of friends, where it seems like people aren't getting along with you, truthfully, it might not be worth it. You know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu isn't for everybody because it's not fun for everybody. It hurts some people, and some people don't get along with the environment. And if it's not the right environment for you, I encourage you to stop. But it was for me, and it is for a lot of people, and people get a lot of benefit out of it. So if you want to go out there and get the most out of you that you can out of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, even though your gym's not the best, do those extra things to supplement your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, supporting the channel, down below, likes, comments, subscribes. Been doing some car uploads lately. We'll see.